Hello. Today we're going to finish up 2.7. So we're going to identify the parts of absolute value graphs. So hopefully you remember, since it was the last video, how to graph this. All right, so you graph it and you should get this. Now let's talk about the main parts of it. Okay, we called this point right here, ooh, a little large there, sorry about that. All right, we called this point the turning point, okay, on the last video. That's actually called the vertex, okay? So it's where the two lines come together. So the vertex here is 2, 5. All right, the axis of symmetry. Okay, so think about what axis means. You've heard that before, right? This is called the y-axis, this line, and this is called the x-axis. So an axis is a line. All right, now the line of symmetry. So we've got a line and we're basically going to cut it in half. Okay, so the line where I cut it in half would be this line right here. All right, now this is a vertical line. And how do we write vertical lines? Hopefully you remember Hoy Bucks. X equals 2. All right, so this one is going right through the vertex. Okay, and that should always be true, correct? Because if we're going to cut it in half, well, the halfway point is always through the vertex. So it's always got to go through the vertex. All right, and the transformations, hopefully you remember that we did that the last video as well. So we have a negative out front, which tells us it reflects over x-axis. Then we have the -2. That tells us it goes right to. And then the +5 at the end tells us it goes up 5. Okay, so if we wanted to make, let's see, a formula about it, it would look like this. Okay, so this is the general form. You have your A out front, which is your stretch or compression factor, okay, also your reflection. You've got your vertex is always at HK, so you change the sign there, all right, because that tells us we go left or right and then up or down, so that's our vertex. And the axis of symmetry is always x equals, because think about it, you're always going to have absolute value look like one of these two V's. So the axis of symmetry needs to be a vertical line that cuts it in half. So that's why it's always x equals a number. Okay? And that's why it's always the x value, because it's a vertical line. Okay? So notice that relationship there. All right, so why don't you guys take a minute and write these down. So pause the video, try these 3, and I'll walk you through them. Okay, so for number 3, the vertex should be 3, 1, opposite of the x. The axis of symmetry is always x equals the 3, so, or this x coordinate of your vertex. It's not always 3. Sorry. All right, number 3, let's see. Since the vertex is going right 3 and up 1, we know we've got those. And there is no a value. All right, well, the a value is 1, so there's no stretch, compression, or reflection. Okay, and actually the same goes for number 4. There's no stretch, compression, or reflection. All right, but number 5, it's got that negative. Remember that negative tells us it reflects. Okay, and if you want to really know it, okay, and have that memorized, you want to say over the x-axis. All right, we're not going to do the one over the y-axis, but that way, in case you ever do see the other one, you know that the one on the outside is for the x-axis. Okay, just try and help you remember that. All right, let's finish this up. So number 4, the vertex should be -1, -3. Axis of symmetry is x equals -1. Transformations, we went left 1. Make sure that looks like a 1. And then we went down 3. Last one, the vertex is going to be 2, 5. Axis symmetry is x equals 2. You have a reflection from the negative, but also from the vertex, we can tell we go right 2 and up 5. All right. Okay, let's do some more. So you want to take a second, pause those, see if you can come up with those answers. All right, now I'm going to walk you through it. Number 6, the vertex here, there's nothing on the inside, so that would be kind of like saying 2 times the absolute value of x plus nothing. So the vertex here would be like 0, negative 4. The axis of symmetry would be x equals 0, went through the x-axis, or the x-coordinate of your vertex. Your transformations, well, we didn't go left to right, but we did go down 4. And here, we've got a 2 out front, so that is a stretch, a vertical stretch, to be perfectly exact. Okay, so this is, again, think of 2 times my height, that makes me skinny, so it's a stretch. Number 7. All right, so this is like saying 1/2 x minus 2 plus nothing. So here, our vertex would be like 2, 0. Axis symmetry is always x equals 2. Don't you forget the x equals. Okay, that signifies that it's a line, so don't forget that. Then let's see. Transformations, we went right 2. We didn't go up or down. The 1/2 is a vertical compression. Think about it. 1/2 times my height makes me shorter, so makes me fatter. Vertical compression. Okay. Number 8, we have, let's see, the same thing as before, so it'd be like adding nothing at the end. So our vertex is negative 1, 0. Axis of symmetry is always x equals that number, so negative 1. Transformations, we went left 1. And then, let's see, no, up or down. And then the negative 2. The negative tells me it reflects over x-axis. And the 2 tells me it's a vertical stretch. Okay, the negative tells us the reflection. The number, so forget the negative, the number tells us if it's a stretch or compression. All right. So now let's see, what if I went backwards? Okay, what if I wanted to write an absolute value function of the graph? So I like to think about the formula. So the formula is this. All right, now h comma k represents the vertex. And the a, right, the shortcut was to think of it as the slope. So let's graph it. I'm sorry, it's already graphed. So here, our vertex is there, this point right here, so that's at negative 1, 4. So in this case, it's negative 1, 4. And our slope here is we go down 1 and right 3. So down 1 is a negative move, and right 3 is positive. So our slope on the left-hand side is down 1 over 3, negative 1/3. So our equation, our answer, is y equals negative 1/3 x minus the negative 1, so we're going to change the sign, and the k is plus 4. This is our answer. We found the vertex, put it in for 1 and 4. This was the slope. which makes sense because it's a reflection. And 1/3 times my height makes me fatter, and this is a pretty fat graph. Okay? I know. Let's do another one. So let's see. Where's my blue? Okay. Here's our equation. And remember, HK is the vertex. So HK is the vertex. And A, think of it as our slope. So our vertex is here. So that's at 2, -1. Our slope, we went up 3 and right 1, up 3, right 1. So up 3, right 1, so a slope of 3. So our equation is y equals 3, absolute value, x minus 2, minus 1. Okay, so knowing that shortcut's going to help us, okay, it kind of helps think backwards. All right, if that doesn't make sense, just come and ask me in class.